Hey, so in this video, I'm going to go through the exact structure of a funnel that we use for my agency Greenwa in the home service industry, whether it be solar, windows, roofing, that has generated over 500,000 leads, and exactly how we implement it. And you guys can implement it the same exact structure in your business to generate high quality leads that actually convert. So I'm going to go over to my screen quick. Over here, this is a Figma that I created. So obviously, and I'll have in a different video, I will go through the exact traffic channels and how to basically optimize traffic channels. But for this, we're just focusing on the structure of the funnel and how you can take this structure and just create your own funnel that works the exact same. We also have a link down below for any of the home service industries that you guys can actually just get and use some of our templated funnels and implement them yourself into a high level. That's where we build our funnels out. But for right now, let me just go through it. So obviously you're going to have your different traffic sources. Doesn't really matter where. Those are going to go to your lander. So there's a few specific things with the first page of the lander that are very important for you to understand to actually be able to implement it the way that you want to implement it. So the first thing is whatever is in the ad, whatever is the carrot, right? There's carrot and there's sticks. Whatever is the carrot in the ad has to be in the headline. So our most, I would say highest converting, call to action has always been, in whether it be solar, roofing, windows, etc., bathroom model, has always been for basically an analysis. If it's solar, let's just use solar for example, is that we give an in-depth analysis. We use an integration with Google Project Sunroof to give an in-depth analysis for the person's home on exactly what they will get as a benefit for going solar based on their criteria. So we call that out in the ad. It's the only thing I'll touch about with ads or traffic sources. And then that has to be in the first page to make sure that you're actually getting someone, whatever they're filling out and they're clicking, they see immediately that they're going to get that value. Now, the second thing is that I see this way too much in any home service, whether, like I said, solar, roofing, windows, etc., is you need to try to have a USP that follows for the ads and for what you're actually trying to give them as a carrot or lead magnet or whatever it is to actually get someone to come through. So for this, it's the quick quote or the benefits analysis that they get, but make sure that you have something that's different. People have seen enough, like get a free roof quote, get a free solar quote, get a free Windows quote. Like that has become white noise. It doesn't really work on these traffic sources. That's more of like a referral based thing. When you have a bunch of credibility in your market, you could do that. So make sure that it's something, whether it's like, you have a free battery that you can include or whatever it is, to see if they qualify. Make sure that it's something different than most of your market has, or none of this is going to work because you're not going to have it. Even if they click through, you're not going to have a high click-through rate on this, but your traffic's not going to fill out the form and take the time to actually do it. Here, obviously, your next step right after they click, whatever it is, check my availability or eligibility, yes, I want to claim this offer, whatever that is, you have to have your qualifying questions. You want to keep that to whatever you actually need that someone that on the phone can't just get, right? So even if it's like a thing where it's in between, if it's going to make them qualified or not qualified, like having both homeowners there, whatever other extracurricular question you don't have to ask, don't ask, it hurts conversions, etc. But here, this is a solar version. So yes, the electric bill, how much shade they have, yes, I own home, what's your credit score, and then they fill out their information with their address. We have an autofill with Google, and we have a phone number and an email verification. Again, in the funnel that you guys can claim for free, we'll give you a funnel that has those APIs connected. As they fill out this, they submit, right? You're going to have qualify and disqualify. So you'll set up rules and logic. I can create a separate video on that, but you'll create rules and logic that basically, let's just say for sake of example, if someone says that they have a lot of shade, you want to disqualify that person. You want to make sure that, and this is super important, that you disqualify them at the end of the survey, because especially if you're driving traffic from Google, they basically analyze how long someone's on your site and how many steps they get through. And if they're just getting through the first step and then bouncing, that's going to hurt your Google ads or your YouTube ads. It also works for Facebook, but it's more important for Google and YouTube. So once this person fills out all this information, you also want to make sure you have the right, and it's blocked here, but the right TCPA compliance stuff. But once they fill out their information, you're then going to give them the carrot, right? So you're going to give them the carrot. So for us, like I said, this is just a snapshot of one of our funnels. This gives them a heat map version of their home so they could actually see what we're analyzing and how we're getting these metrics. And then it just gives them, it does nothing about costs, because for us, we generate leads for other people, so people's costs differ and depending on the state and the incentives, but it gives them, max amount of sunlight hours, average, how much, square footage they have that can actually install panels, what their average savings would be over their lifetime, solar percentage they could offset, 96%, 20-year benefit is $52,000, cost without solar would be 59. So they're making and netting 100K basically over 20 years. Now, once you've given them the carrot, this is the best time, and this helps, and I'll create a separate video on the nurturing process that we've dialed in. We built out a call center for Sunpro and ADT and some of the other large names in the home service industry. So we're very good at nurturing, basically converting leads into appointments and then into demos and then obviously into sales. But the next part is, and a lot of people leave this out, and this tremendously helps, very simple. People don't do it. I don't know why, but you want to include some type of booking alongside this. So on our funnels, there's this portion, and then right alongside is the booking. So you want to give them available times that they could just book directly into your sales reps' calendars or into your branch manager's calendar, whatever it is. You want to have that immediately. We see about 25% of people will just book themselves. So you don't have to call them, you don't have to text them. Obviously, the follow-up and the confirmation process with calls and texts and emails, etc., is important. That'll be a separate video, but you want to make sure that you have some type of calendar on whatever site that you have. Now, remember, people come into us all the time. Your website is not something that you drive traffic to. It will not convert. You need to have your own dedicated funnel to be able to test, and I'll go into in a separate video split testing and how to do that. But this is the main structure, right? You want to have traffic, and that will be in a separate video. You want your immediate, whatever your call to action is, whatever your carrot is in your traffic, you want to immediately show that value that they're jumping to. You want the same color scheme, everything to be similar. So right when they click, they now are seeing, yes, this is exactly what was offered on the first part, which is the ad or whatever traffic source. I'm seeing that here. Once they click here, you now have all of the qualifying questions that you actually need that are only the most pertinent to what you need to be qualified or not. And you are putting the setting, which I'll do in a separate video, how to actually wait until the end to disqualify them, because if not, there's going to be a high bounce rate and a low time on session for the actual landing page, which is going to hurt your conversions. Once they have filled out their information, you give them the carrot, which is exactly what you offered them before. It could be a free, whatever it is. It could be, you could determine that for yourself, but here we use the Google Project Sunroof and we give them the quick quote or estimate or what they're going to be able to potentially get, 6 kilowatt system, etc. And then right alongside that is a call to action to a calendar to be able to book themselves. Now, we have a whole process that we do this for companies. I'm going to have a video in the description that goes into, and it's a longer video, exactly how we do this for companies. But for right now, if you guys wanted to set up your own funnel, these are the pieces of the funnel you need to have. If you do not have these pieces, it is not going to be successful. So make sure that every one of these, it's fairly straightforward. You'd be surprised at how many people we work with that don't have these in place. Just make sure that each component of this is there, and then you can start to split test and iterate. If you don't have one of these pieces, the funnel is not going to work. So just make sure that these pieces are in the funnel. You guys will have success, and then you can iterate. You guys can make the funnel better. You can split test headlines and copy and which questions should go first. And then you can really get into the nitty gritty. But if you don't have these 5 pieces, the funnel will not work.